Welcome to this session in which we will work on preparing our resource consumption curve. As part of budget management, to create our curve, the first thing we have to do is estimate the cost of our activities. Once again, we take our list of activities and review them one by one in terms of how much those activities are going to cost. For that, we have 3 techniques. Let's look at them. The first technique, the simplest, is that we're going to look for lessons learned, best practices from similar projects, and we're going to see how much those activities cost. We're going to adopt that first criterion as a good one, applying the analog technique. We have a second technique, somewhat more sophisticated, perhaps at a later point in the cost estimation, where we compare statistics. For example, if we have the cost of 1 square meter of construction and we need to build 500 square meters, we're going to multiply the cost of 1 square meter by 500, and that will give us our construction cost. If our activity is, for example, building a school within an area of 500 square meters. But we have a third possibility that is even more sophisticated that combines the 2 previous ones. The third possibility is called the 3-point technique. And in this technique, the average cost is that which has more frequently been accurate. How do we know which cost has been more accurate most frequently? We can use either of the 2 previous ones. We can use the analog method, combining various projects, noting what the costs have been in those projects. We can also use the parametric and adjust it, which is the most typical cost for that activity. To that we add a pessimistic cost. In which project did that school cost the most? This is the cost we're going to use. We also use an optimistic cost from the project where the school had the lowest cost, always in relation to the expected quality. Those 3 factors are divided by 3 to obtain our 3-point estimation cost. Pessimistic cost, most frequent cost, the cost that has occurred most often, or average cost if we don't have a most frequent cost. Optimistic cost, we add them and divide the number by 3. What happens if we want to give more weight within our equation to the most frequent cost? Because actually we realize that that activity we have done many times, in 80% of the cases, is close to the average cost. What we're going to do is apply the PERT variant to the 3-point rule. We multiply the average cost by 4, and we divide our number by 6. This gives more weight, more power to that average cost, and with that we obtain the cost estimation of our activity. We apply the same rule to all the project activities, and we're ready to start to prepare our resource consumption curve, or S-curve. Let's look at an example, where on one side we have the time frame. We assume that our project will last 5 months. On the other side, we have the budget. In this case, let's put that we have a project with a maximum budget of $8,000. What are we missing? What we're missing is the scope. It's our physical progress, our activities. This is the great advantage of the S-curve as a tool. Its major value is that it combines the 3 restrictions on project management. It combines the scope, the cost, and the time. This is what our S-curve will look like. We're going to say that in month 1, we're going to complete 2 work packages. Each of those work packages has a cost. The first is $200. The second is $1,800. The sum of the resources we're going to use in month 1 for those work packages is $2,000. That is our first point, and so on. Cumulatively, we build the curve where we see what physical progress we'll have made at what time and how much that physical progress is going to cost. As you can see, the S-curve is not the same as a budget curve. The budget curve does not reflect the physical progress. The nice thing about the S-curve, why it is tremendously useful in project management, is precisely because it combines the 3 essential factors that make up the project restriction: cost, time, and scope.